Social engineering could be in a computer term as phishing, or someone that is leaking information, personal information that is near and dear to you, and or there's surfing on an internet and they're trying to compromise somebody's identity, and that can go under identity theft. There's also a term called phishing and hacking, and so there's different levels under social engineering, but some people will look at it in society as being socially engineered with what is going on within today's time in our culture, like some of the more current events that have happened, Black Lives Matter, gay marriage, gay rights, the killing of black males, being more politically correct, um, politically conscious, maybe Afrocentrism conscious, someone that is trying to learn more about their culture, where people come from, maybe learn about other cultures, languages, how some of these political issues came about originally in American society, what is African diaspora, the different places that people of melanin skin, black people, all the different places that they reside. Um, but regardless, they're still akin to one another. Maybe from different cultures, but still black people. So there's been some censorship on Facebook, YouTube, and some of the other social websites, Twitter, and some say it's because the different ad companies are pulling out based on some of the videos that have been put out that have been very derogatory or hateful, or if they're related to something that has been tragic, they don't want to be attached to those types of videos, which is understandable. But there's been a lot of things that were done way before some of these more current events that are like upfront and in your face type issues. So America's all about money, all about capitalism, all about consumerism, and it's not just in one culture, it's in everywhere. And it's everywhere, not just in America either. So with America sort of being at the forefront of capitalism, you have people that are more concerned about who is holding them up financially and who is sponsoring them. And when they have enough complaints, they just sort of follow the money. And if they feel like they're going to lose out, then they start making changes. But there could be more at work going on as well. America has a history of social divide, a history of political divides, a history of a lot of different issues in society as well, other than just money, that have to do with people's gender, race, and their beliefs. And so you also have these videos that have been out for a long time before all this stuff started happening, where they were pulling out and people were exclaiming their position on how they didn't want to be attached to certain derogatory videos. Well, they should have been doing this long before, because there's been multiple videos about the hate towards different groups or different people or genders or black females or gay people, and you know people of color, or people who are poor, or people who are whatever, blue, purple, green. So a lot of times people would pay big bucks to hear people say things that are hateful. And social media is socially engineered for people's agendas to flourish. So you have a hotbed of individuals who are just ready to post all of the things that they want to say to people that they can't say at work, or maybe they can't say to people in their family or people that they live close to. So they post these videos about how they feel about a woman, or how they feel about whatever, a person that is gay, or a person that is an atheist, or on down the list, a person that is poor, a person that comes from an urban environment versus, someone who is from a rural environment, or someone who's Republican and conservative. So you have all this hate, all this anger and animosity and violence going on all on these sites. And so now it's so prevalent and so crazy and out of control that they're pulling channels. There's death threats to YouTubers. And so you have people that are closing down channels, or they're leaving, or they're just saying goodbye to some of these websites. Now, some of the things that people have been posting are things that people do want to hear that they're not able to hear otherwise. And whenever it has to do, and I have to say this, I feel like whenever it has to do about black culture and the venting and the frustrations that black people have felt for years, all of a sudden there's censorship and we have to change it. In other words, we want to silence these individuals because we don't want to hear you talk about how black people feel. We don't want to hear you talk about how black people have been treated. We just want people on the outside to see America and American values and not really hear about the gripes and the frustrations and the venting and all of the chaos that has gone on all these years. We want to portray ourselves as being post-racial because we had a black president, but we are far from that. We actually are retorting backwards to the way things used to be. And that, I believe, has a lot to do with why there's censorship, because people do not want to hear the truth. They can't handle the truth. They'd rather listen to someone who is not telling the truth, or they're not being honest about their feelings. There's a lot of pacifist behavior and patronizing in workplaces and in settings around people who you would not feel that way if you were on the street. You wouldn't talk that way to them if you saw them out of a work environment or out of a conservative or a formal setting. So this is where we're at here in America.